Welcome to the second subject for this week, which is system programs or system utilities. There are a lot of things that system programs and system utilities can do. Some of those functions include managing the computer files that you have on your system, searching for those particular files, viewing images through your image viewer, securing the computer through passwords and other ways to help secure it. We can uninstall and install programs. We can clean up your disks. We can defragment your disks. We can diagnose problems. You can back up your files and disks with system utilities, and you can also set up your screensaver. So those are all functions that fall under the category of system utilities. So some of the utility programs that we have, and a utility program is a system software that allows a user to perform the maintenance type tasks. We reviewed that in the last lecture. So there's a lot of stuff that we can do with it. Part of what we can do is file manage. So part of the file manager is that it displays the list of the files. It organizes those files. We copy, we rename. Any way that you manipulate a file is done through the file manager. This is an example of a Windows file manager. When you're looking at Linux or command line interface, it's typewritten code that you're using to do all of that stuff. Okay, another utility program that we have is the search utility. So this is what you use on your program when you're looking for a file that you thought you saved to the desktop, or you thought you saved in documents and you actually saved it back into downloads. Or if you want to find that elusive PowerPoint presentation that you know you made 2 years ago and can't remember where you filed it. So that's the search utility. And you can search for all kinds of different file types on your system. Another utility program that we have is the image viewer. This is exactly what it sounds like. It is the utility program that allows you to view images. So in this particular example, we have Windows Photo Viewer. Apple also has a built-in system utility. Generally, the system utility image viewer is not as robust, and you can't manipulate quite as easily as you can with an application that is specific for photo rendering. The uninstaller is a utility that does what it sounds like. It removes programs that have been loaded onto your system. It's a great idea to use the uninstaller because when you install programs onto your system, there is a lot of information written to hidden files. And if you're just going to delete that program or delete that file, when you do that, you don't get all of those hidden files. And if you don't take out the hidden files, it can cause problems when those files are accidentally accessed and now it's looking for the original program. The uninstaller helps to get all of those tedious little hidden files that also need to be removed when you remove a program. Okay, some other utility programs is the disk cleanup. And what it does is it searches for and removes unnecessary files. Your downloaded files that you've now saved off someplace else, your temporary internet files, deleted files. Remember, we talk a lot, or I mention a lot, that just because you delete something on your system doesn't mean that it's truly really gone a lot of times. So your cleanup utility will help actually more permanently remove those files. So another one is we have disk defragmenter. And what a disk defragmenter does is it reorganizes files in unused space on a computer's hard drive so that things are more efficient and it runs faster. So if we look at this, we have files here. I'm not sure how this is rendering in the lecture capture software, but we'll try it. So here's a file. We've got this segment in 4, this segment in 3, this one in 2, and this one in 1. They are all part of the same file. What happens is a computer will write information, this big segment here is one contiguous file. If we delete some information from that file, let's say that falls into this segment right here, then what's going to happen is that segment becomes blank. And if we put something else in there, so we delete a page and we want to put another page in, what's going to happen is the system is going to go find the next available space for it to put that information into. It may not be anywhere near all the rest of this information. And that's kind of what happened here. We were writing along and then it went to this space which was more available. So the file is fragmented. It takes longer for a computer to access a fragmented file because it's got to go searching for all of the pieces of that file. Your computer runs much faster when your file is contiguous like this. So what a defragmenter does is it goes around and it looks for all of these fragmented files and then it puts them all in a row so that they're contiguous. So now that's going to make your computer run a little bit more efficiently. Okay, another utility program that we have are backup utilities. So anytime that you back up your computer, you're using a utility program to do that. So we all know what a backup is. We're taking our files and we're copying them somewhere else. A backup can be as simple as taking important files that you have and putting them on a jump drive so that if something happens to your computer, you actually have the jump drive. Okay, you got to be careful that you don't lose the jump drive, but that is a primitive backup system. I use as my kind of backup is Dropbox. So I will have files on my laptop and then I will also have a copy of that file saved up into Dropbox. That makes it a little bit easier and I have a little bit more confidence that my files are going to be safe. As far as if anything happens to my laptop, then I know that I can access those files. Okay. We also have a restore utility. So it reverses the process and returns backed up files to their original form. So if something happens to our system and it gets corrupted and we have to go to our backup files, the recovery utility will go out to those backup files and it will restore the system. A lot of times what we're talking about when we're restoring system is utilities and programs to operate the computer itself are what is getting corrupted. So the restore will go out and actually get a backup. Okay. Another type of utility is the screensaver. So those of you who have screensavers on your laptops or your desktops, that is a system utility. And the reason that we have screensavers is there used to be, before we had LCD monitors, when we had the RayTube, the CRT monitors, it was very common for a still image to get burned into the monitor itself. So that anytime you opened up a program, there was a ghost image of whatever you had as your default image when the computer was in a sleep mode. So what the screensaver does is it either puts up a black background that prevents that, or it takes an image and it moves it around so that the image isn't in just one place and it gets burned into the screen. Another utility program that we have is personal firewalls, and that helps to detect and protect personal computer from unauthorized intrusions. So when you're up at Starbucks and you're drinking that coffee and you're connecting to the internet or you've got your Wi-Fi open, the personal firewall will prevent people from accessing your system. Some more utility programs that we also have virus detection. So we've talked a lot last week about different viruses, worms, Trojan horses, and an antivirus program protects against these types of attacks. We also have signs of virus infection. So these are some common ways that your computer may act if you actually have a virus, which may be an indication that you need to run your antivirus software to see if there's a problem out there and what needs to be done about it. So we also have, spyware remover. So anytime we might get spyware on our computer, the spyware remover will remove it. So it's a good idea to run that periodically. In conjunction with spyware, we had adware remover. So it helps to remove any adware that we might have on our computers as well. And those are all utility programs. Filters are programs that remove or block certain items from being displayed. So we have web filtering software, we have anti-spam software, we have phishing filters, we have pop-up blockers, we have all kinds of different types of filters. There is a large controversy in libraries about using web filtering software. There are many libraries that have computers that they've put internet filters on, and those internet filters prevent people from going to questionable websites. But there's a lot of debate back and forth whether that is the right thing to do or not. There are some other issues with web filtering software as far as like public schools go. If you're trying to prevent students from accessing porn sites and you have a list of words that you're looking for, such as breast and other body parts, you may run into problems with students who are trying to do a research paper on breast cancer. They can't find any information on the internet because that's one of the words that have been tagged. So there's a lot of things that go on when we start looking at web filtering software in public areas and schools. Some other utility programs that we have is file compression utilities. So they shrink the size of the files. There are two types of compression, lossy and lossless. And lossy means that there are little bits of pieces of information that are actually removed and lost in that particular file. They may be that it's a sound recording, and some of those sounds that you can't really hear without really great headphones and speakers are actually removed from the file. It doesn't change the sound overall if you're just playing it through your computer speakers. However, if you are a musician and a conductor and want to hear all of those sounds, you may not want a lossy file compression. Once you use lossy and that information is removed, it's gone. Lossless is exactly what it sounds like. All of the information, all of the bits that are in that particular file are just compressed. So there is no information, no data, no bits lost whatsoever. Compressed files can also be zipped files, and they can be uncompressed. So we also have Media Player, which allows you to run those videos, watch your YouTube and things like that. And we also have disk burning software, so we can burn to disks. This used to be a little bit more extravagant than it is now because we all can write to a CD for the most part, but you do have to have a special drive bay that will allow you to burn or write to a CD. So we also have personal computer maintenance utilities. So like Norton will do that. It fixes operating system problems, it can repair disk problems, it can help improve how your system runs, it can help with memory swiping or swapping pages, it can help with internet connections and stuff like that. So that is operating systems. Those are the lectures that we have for this week. So please, if you have not already, listen to the introduction for this week video or lecture, not lecture, but video, because it's got information about this week and what we're doing. And so I will be seeing you all next week. So email me with any questions. Bye.